Hello, everybody, and welcome to Bandırma, Turkey. This is the Basketball Champions League playoffs round of 16, second leg between Banvit and Nanterre 92. Well, if everything holds true to form, this is going to be an interesting game tonight. We've had a lot of great games in the Basketball Champions League. This is the road to the Final Four for all of these teams that have made it to the playoffs. You can already see that Monaco, Mini Beirut and MHP and Lewisburg have booked their places in the quarterfinals. And who is going to join them? Well, you have to say that Banvit have a great chance of advancing to face Monaco. That is who they will play indeed if they can get through this game today. They come into this one with a 10-point lead after the first leg, and it was a result that perhaps, an 8-point lead. That was a result that maybe flattered Banvit by a couple points or so, but I mean they're a tough team. Nanterre 92 certainly had their chances, not only to get closer, but to even win, but they didn't have the execution that they needed to in those critical stages. And at this stage, a lot of it is down to execution. Nanterre 92, Alade Mino will be looking to have a much better game tonight. Konate was really tough in the first game. Jamal Schuler, he needs to pick it up. Hako Shafarczyk was good, and Vernizzi, he was tough for Nanterre 92, and certainly Gasper Vidmar and his teammates know that this is a Nanterre 92 team that is coming here with one aim and one aim only, and that is to finish, to come back, and to get to the next phase, to get to the quarterfinals. Kevin Jones also was tough. Jamar Wilson. Now, Donis Thomas for Banvit, Kulig, number 7, Tolga Getchem, Gasper Vidmar, number 14, number 15, Andy Routens. All of these players that you need to keep an eye out on. You need to look out as well for Angelo Caloiato, the power forward, probably one of the best players in the competition this season, 28 years old. Tony Taylor has been solid at point guard. Onchel, the shooting guard, has been good. And same as Hazar, the shooting guard who was electric in the last game. Let's see what he can do in this second leg. See the Nanterre players being introduced here in Bandırma. What a great club this is in Turkey. And that man right there, Coach Donadue, knows his guys are going to have to play exceptionally well tonight to get the result they need. Now the player introductions for Banvit, led by Adonis Thomas. There's Hazer, the youngster, the 19-year-old, and Getchem, who has played for Turkey. He comes out. And Vidmar, as always, the real warrior in this Banvit team. He was in the team last year, as was Kulig. They made it to the Final Four. And Taylor as well coming out. So it's a very good team. Sasha Filipovsky, one of the top coaches, that if they can get through this tie, it is gonna be tasty. As tasty as it comes. For the next next round for this Banvit team and for Monaco for the Basketball Champions League. I mean, you can only imagine that's going to be a great one. But Nanterre would like to shake things up tonight. They'd like to spoil the party. So we've already had, you'd have to say, one Turkish team bite the dust in the round of 16. And for the second year in a row, Besiktas in Istanbul, they did not get past the round of 16 despite winning their group. They fell over 2 legs, losing by 5 points to Mini Beirut of Germany. And a very good refereeing crew tonight. Vicente Bulto there in the middle from Spain. Andres Aunkroger's on the left from Latvia, and Petar Obradovic on the right from Bosnia and Herzegovina. So Jamal Schuler, without question, has a big role to play tonight. I mean, he came into the playoffs as a legitimate MVP candidate in this competition. So he'll be in the starting lineup with Heiko Shafarczyk, Jones, Passav Duktel, and Konate, who, quite frankly, folks, was terrific for Nanterre in the first leg, especially defensively. And Pascal Donadieu, well, he needs his team to have a good start tonight. They kind of fell behind in that opening leg, and it always felt like it was an uphill battle for Nanterre. And when they put it together and they executed, they were tough. And an 8-point deficit could really disappear quickly for Banvit. But Adonis Thomas, Vidmar, Routens, Tony Taylor, and Kailo Yado will be in that starting 5. You just get the feeling with this Banvit team coached by Sasha Filipovsky that they've got enough veterans experience. He's got the head over there on the bench to control the game. It is going to be a big ask for Nanterre to overturn this 8-point deficit. But nevertheless, Banvit will remember, and perhaps this was a good loss for them, playing at home in what was an important game against SIG Strasbourg in the last game of the regular season. They lost 80-63. And while Banvit already had their spot in the playoffs secure, they ended up getting knocked off of the top spot in the group. And I think it was also a reminder that, you know, you better bring it every game, because when the other team out there certainly has a lot to play for, and Strasbourg did, because they went into this into that last round not knowing, that last game day, not knowing if they were going to be in the playoffs. You better be ready. And I'd be awfully surprised if Nanterre was not supremely focused tonight. This is why you play the game. You love to be in games like this one. And I would fully expect Jamal Schuler to come out and be stronger tonight. Last time it was Kevin Jones that had a terrific game for Nanterre with 18 points coming off the bench. But Schuler, who played for Monaco last season and made it to the Final Four, he ended up with 11 points on 4 of 11 shooting. He was 1 of 6 from the floor inside the arc, although he did hit 3 of 5 from deep. And he had six assists and 5 rebounds. But you're looking for more than that. There's Konate, Shafarczyk, Jones. Shafarczyk also was solid. He had 16 points in that first meeting. And Banvit in that first meeting, in the first leg rather, Gasper Vidmar had the 18 points, and Caloiado had the 12 points and the 9 rebounds. Well, good evening, everyone here in Banderma. It is the Basketball Champions League round of 16, second leg, and it's underway here between Banvit and Nanterre, and you can look at the aggregate score at the bottom, and that is the score you need to keep an eye on, because the winner on that score line is the one that will go to the quarterfinals. And already a steal for Nanterre, so a good start for the team from France. Schuler gets it over to Shafarczyk, and with the shot clock running down, he had to put up a one-footer, reminiscent of Marcelo Huertas, the Brazil international, who's played in Europe for most of his career. Taylor trapped over there on the sideline, but he was fouled in the end. Shafarczyk in his career, you know, we talk about the importance of Schuler coming out tonight and playing well, but Shafarczyk has played some really good games for his clubs and for his countries. So he's another player that you'd expect to get off tonight. Oh, nice running shot from Tony Taylor. So early lead for Banvit. Konate. And the block from Vidmar. Now Routens, he gets it to Vidmar, and then he tried to pass it to Caloiado in the corner. He looks at the ref to say, hey, I got hit. Where was the call? Konate, well, he's going nowhere fast on that drive. Konate. Now Schuler. Bounce pass, and right inside to Big Jones. Back to an 8-point game, on aggregate rather, back to an 8-point margin in the tie. Taylor whips it over to Thomas. And Routens short. Schuler hands it off to Jones. Ball batted away by Routens, who hustled back on defense. Jones. Now Shafarczyk. Count it! That three brought a little bit of rain. That's some high arcing shot there from Shafarczyk. Thomas. Good alert play by Vidmar to get the ball. Now Thomas and his shot. Rebounded by Schuler. Shafarczyk again, and he is bumped by Taylor. So free throws coming for the German. So a little bit of you can almost feel the timeout coming from Filipowski, because Banvit right now looking a little bit confused offensively anyway, and already trailing 6-2. So just 1 of 2 for Shafarczyk. Routens, he's in his range. He can hit that shot. Caloiado Bounce pass, Vidmar pump fake. Shafarczyk open again. Well, Donahue can live with that. He's not got any problems with Shafarczyk. Might like to see the ball move around a little bit more on offense. Pasav Duktel reaches in and commits to foul. Ooh. Unless there was a push. It must have been a push. Taylor. Just 2 points. 4 minutes into the game here for Banvit. Routens. And he misses with his long attempt. Schuler bounce pass, Pasav Duktel, and couldn't finish. Hazer into the game, and he gets rejected this time. Konate says, welcome to the big time, young fella. We know who you are now. They didn't know who he was, certainly, the last week, and then it goes, and they lose sight of Gasper Vidmar. Nanterre certainly can't have breakdowns like that on inbounds plays. Schuler, bounce pass. Schuler, open. And now the foul called on Caloyado. What's the matchup with Hazer and Konate? Konate got away from him there for a second. Shafarczyk. Oh, nice spin from Pasav Duktel. And Pasav Duktel warned about interfering with the ball when it comes through the basket. You're not allowed to do that. So if that happens again, technical will be assessed. That's what the referees are saying. Hazer shakes and bakes, gets it inside, and Vidmar puts it up and in. Well, Banvit has been such a great club for young players to grow up, to really rise in the ranks, to get that experience. We saw it last year with Furkan Korkmaz when he joined the club, and we're seeing it with Hazer. And here's a foul called on Taylor. That's number 2 on him. So he will have to come out, and Onchul will replace him. Onchul played very well last week. Taylor pleads his case, but those appeals are going to fall on deaf ears. Nobody's listening. He's got 2 fouls. Taylor's been very important for this Banvit team. Now the pass over to Jones. We saw the big fella hit it last week, but he misses. Now Hazer quickly up the floor. And now the reach and the second foul on Pasav Duktel. Well, what a story Donahue has been leading this Nanterre club to prominence over the years. And now the jump shot is good from Routens. And it's back to an 8-point lead on aggregate. The leg is tied at 8. Oh, nice follow of the shot from Jones, but still doesn't get it to fall. Onshul goes to work. Shot clock winding down. Great hands from Shafarczyk. Now he passes it up to Konate, and he is fouled. Or are they going to call the unsportsmanlike? The way Routens immediately looked over at the referee to say, no, it's not unsportsmanlike. Oh, maybe it should be. And Vernizzi comes into the game. It was indeed, so it was called an unsportsmanlike. He got him on the shoulder. And there's no doubt. And it's also a dangerous play, especially on a fast break. Player's off his feet. He gets hit in the air, loses his balance. However, Konate misses the first free throw. Second one is good. Konate, now he played for France in the World Cup qualifiers. He's a player to keep an eye on. He's interesting indeed. He's a lot, I think he's a lot better than he was last season when he was playing for Le Mans. Here he is dribbling up high. He's going to fly in. There he goes. Kulig. And a foul called right at the end of that play, I think on Aminu. Now, it looked like pretty good defense on Aminu. Not getting the rub of the green in this tie so far, Aminu. So Kulig, the Poland international, will go to the free throw line. Now the free throws were a problem for Banvit in the first leg. And if they'd only been able to make 25% more of them, they would have had a substantial lead. They would have had a 15-point lead from the first leg. They were 14 of 28 at the free throw line in that last game, in that first leg. I mean, that is incredible. Of course, Gasper Vidmar, that's his biggest, his Achilles heel. He was 6 of 14 in that game. So Banvit have cut it back to 1 with Kulig. Konate. That was forced into a bad shot. The drive out to Hazer for 3. I really think Hazer is gonna, he wants to get up and down the floor as quickly as possible. He thrives in that up-tempo game. Now, Shafarczyk gets inside, and who says size matters? He got right under the basket, used his body to good effect, and got the shot off, scored with his left hand. And right now, he is standing up to be counted here for Nanterre. And now the turnover from Routens. A little miscommunication. Konate and Aminu, the ball just fell out of bounds. And that is soul destroying. goodness me. Aladi Aminu, the Nigeria international, just didn't hold on to the ball. That's a dunk. That's 2 points. And remember, when you're trailing by 8 points after the first leg, every single point matters. Oncho penetrates, drives, and gets it to Kaloyado. So a 4-point swing. And now the block called on Aminu. He's just not having a good tie. He's not having a good overall tie. So Aladi Aminu is going to go out of the game. And Ponce is going to come in, the youngster. Years of age, measures 2.8 meters in height, 6 feet 10 inches. Final 10 seconds now of the first quarter. And now Thomas has the ball go through his hands. So both teams struggling to hold on, but not this man. Shafarczyk pulls up at the line. He's good. Well, that was a costly miss or drop for Adonis Thomas, and Heiko Shafarczyk showing he's a big game player already in this first quarter. It is again. And there was no doubt about it. That was sailing through the hoop. So 15-12, Nanterre lead Banvit after one.
In offense, we need to move the ball. You're trying to, everybody's trying to play.
So 15-12, Nanterre 92 on top of Banvit, cutting into that aggregate deficit, now making it just a 5-point lead on aggregate for Banvit, who Banvit have yet to hit a three-pointer. They're 5 of 8 inside the arc. Nanterre 1 of 5 from deep, 5 of 10 inside the arc, and 2 of 4 at the line. Filipovsky looking for some more ball movement. Taylor, remember, he's got the 2 fouls. That was his drive. Oncho reaching over and fouling here at the beginning of the second quarter. If you're Banvit, you don't really want to give Nanterre that, you know, the feeling, the belief that they can come back and win this game or come back and win the tie. And certainly nothing in that first quarter would have made Nanterre believe anything differently. They've come out, they've cut the deficit. Now Shafarczyk has it. And Kaloyado gets the rebound. So Banvit need to have a little bit better execution on this end of the floor. Boy, Oncho fell down. He's able to get up in time. And Vernizzi, meanwhile, almost reached in and took that ball away. Schuler. Oh, Hazard trying to do a little too much. Went behind his back, turns it over. Now Shafarczyk, and that is a big play. That gets it back to 18-12 in the game, and it is a 2-point lead on aggregate. And I might not be surprised if Hazard comes out after that turnover.
Why 3-pointers, Everton? Stop, Tony. Hey, I think we need to wake up, hey. Start play defense. On offense, execute sets, move the ball.
See the shooting numbers.
Pick out that play, fucking green, make fucking screen one time, hey. I held him, make screen. He picked the ball. Pick the ball. Make that screen and pop. We're good, right?
You love it, don't you? Look at the rebounding. Caluyaro is like, I'm doing it, coach, I'm doing it. And Tony Taylor says, calm down, he's okay. He's all right. He's just intense. It's the game now. But Filipovsky's right. I mean, they're not executing. They're not running their sets on offense. Banvit. Nobody's getting a hand in the face of Shafarczyk. So Onchel comes out and Taylor goes back in to try to solve that dilemma. But Shafarczyk already with 11 points. That's right. Big bad Heiko Shafarczyk. How's there? And nice move from the young man. That's much better from him. "19 years old. Now the pressure and almost a turnover, and Bolto helps Hadzer up. Good to see the referee and the player working together there. Look at this. And Hadzer picks up the foul without question. He really raked the arm. Vicente Bolto didn't hesitate, did he? He reached over and picked him up. That's what we like to see. Now Schuler. Konate. Inside to Panza, and he turns it over. Donis Thomas has it knocked out of his hands. Gets it back. Now Taylor. He gets the pick. Puts up a three. Oh, look at Caluyaro. He just puts on his hard hat, takes his lunch pail, and goes to work. And Kulig tries to tap it up and in, and stays with it and draws the foul. Panza with the foul. Jones comes back in, crashing those offensive boards, such a big part of the game, and I'm sure Donadieu will make sure to point out on the replay of this game to Panza, where he simply cannot allow Kulig to get in there and get a second bite at the cherry. So now he's at the line making free throws. He makes the first one and the second. Schuler bounce pass, Jones, much better, scoring with the left hand. I'll tell you, Schuler also, okay, his scoring isn't there yet tonight, but he is distributing the basketball. Beautiful passes from Jamal Schuler. Taylor pulls up, and Vernizzi with the rebound. Schuler for three. He forced that one. He's such an out-and-out scorer he's looking at that like that's going in. But you gotta move that ball around. Kulig for three. Got it! And makes it a one-point game now in the second leg, and much better at this end of the floor from Banvit. So now it's Donadieu who calls the timeout. And that's the advantage of having a big like Kulig that can step outside and hit some threes. He's done it all season. Coming into this game, he was 10 of 40 from three-point range. So I think he's a better shooter than that. That's only 25%.
Baptiste, c'était intéressant de faire jersey tout. Quand on fait jersey tout, on se tire avec lui. De temps en temps, prends la main. Quand on joue toi tu joues un, on annonce jersey tout, 0 pour Echo. D'accord? Allez, go. We play 2 games. 2 games. Damian, you, point right here. You, duck in, Damian pop. From 3 games. Hand off, pop, and you go down and duck in. From 3 games.
It's interesting with Hazer staying in the game. If you remember a few minutes ago, he was attacking and he tried to dribble behind his back and he turned it over. And I think at that moment, well, especially after Shafarczyk went to the other end and scored, he must have thought he was coming out of the game. But Filipovsky went over and instead he brought Onshul out of the game. And basically saying, you're not guarding Shafarczyk when he's shooting the 3-pointers. And since that moment, by sticking with Hazer seems like he's played a little bit better. And nice play from Hazer there, knocking it out of Shafarczyk's hands. And if Hazer comes, if you yank him out of the game after he makes one mistake, it's not going to do anything for his confidence. And I'm sure that Filipovsky is aware of that. Nice drive and nice finish from Invernizzi. Tony Taylor gets it to Hazer. Pump fake, look at him. Look at him move. He gets it inside, he misses the shot, however, and now Jones with the rebound. Hands it off to Shafarczyk. Shafarczyk just behind the stripe, and Thomas brings it down. They're gonna open it up, and he goes inside again. Hazer lays it up and in. Almost has a slight resemblance, bears a slight resemblance to Jetty Osman. In the face, not quite as, doesn't have quite the muscles that Jetty Osman has. But he's got time. Taylor, shaken and bacon, puts it in the oven, but the foul was called. So Routens will come back in. And Hazer is going to go out. And Shafarczyk comes out. Jamar Wilson comes in. So interesting, 2 offensive-minded players, very good offensive-minded players come into the game. And especially if Routens can knock in a couple of threes, this game could change quickly, but he gets it inside instead. Taylor to Kulig. And Kulig's off to a fast start tonight. 9 points for him. And now the pressure from Thomas. Wilson, good awareness by that defense on the interior for Banvit to reach in and knock the ball away. Thomas pulls up. He's seen enough. He wants to get involved. And now the lead in the game is 25-22. There's Thomas. He's had a slow start tonight, but looks like he might be ready to assert himself. Trafe didn't get up on him. Let's go down to the huddle. So coming out of the timeouts, we're able to hear the coaches. Konate gets open for the 3. Jones with the rebound. Turns and puts it up and in. Taylor. Here's Routens. Hits the 3. You know it's going to come eventually. Now it's 28-24. And Routens reaches in and commits the foul. So Choife fouled. And Nanterre did so well. I mean, they got really close in that aggregate score. Now it's back up to 12 points. And now the interception by Thomas and the slam dunk. And Schuler will be upset with himself. He telegraphed that pass. And it's whatever's gotten into Thomas, all of a sudden, he's back to his A form. Wilson. And Venizzi. Quickly up it goes again, this time to Caloyado. Back to Thomas. Thomas turns into Invernizzi. Now Kulig steps into a 3. That was short. Caloyado kept it alive. Thomas has it, puts it up and in. Well, how did Caloyado get that rebound? That's what I'd like to know. He just stays after it. Shafarczyk. And the ball goes out of bounds, back over to Banvit. Banvit right now have got the wind in their sails. In Nanterre 92, you can just see it's almost as if they're trying to get it all back at once. So timeout on the floor by Nanterre. Excuse me, by Banvit. Interesting timeout. Kulig with 9 points, Thomas and Routens with 6 and 5 points respectively. Shafarczyk has the 11, Jones 6, and Konate 3 for Nanterre. So Al Krogers gives the ball to Taylor. And Banvit leading this second leg by 8 points. They're in command in this tie. Taylor drives and the foul called. And really, it's more of the same of what we'd seen from Nanterre in that first leg. I mean, there's spells of play from them where they're really good, but sustaining that sometimes kind of almost disappear. And Banvit have raced ahead. They've doubled their aggregate lead from the first leg, and now it's even more than doubled. Both free throws good. Nanterre need to get Jones going. He was a main, he was a big attacking force in that first meeting. Hasn't really had anything going yet. Wilson to Schuler. Bounce pass, and Pascal Doctel missed the shot. Gets it back and puts it up and in. Onshow falls down, gets back up. Minute 35 remaining in the first half. Kulig for three. Jones with the board. That's it, Nanterre. You can't get it all back at once. If they're patient, they'll get good shots. And that time, Pascal Doctel just his bounce pass stolen by Kulig. Now, Routen's another three. I tell you, Andy Routen's, when his shot starts falling, it's over. I mean, it is hard to compete with a guy who's shooting threes a full 2 meters from behind the arc. Schuler drives in and banks it up and in. I mean, there's a long way to go, but it doesn't bode well for Nanterre that Andy Routen's has got it going. Here he is. That's his range right there. Look at that. And now the foul gives it back over to Nanterre. Probably one of the few players in this competition where the coach is going to be like, that's okay, you can take that shot. I mean, he is in his range when he enters the arena. Vidmar has been sitting down resting, so he comes back into the game. Pascal Doctel goes over and sits down next to Troifet. And that foul on the play actually has put Nanterre on the line. Shafarczyk. Foul was on Kulig. So Shafarczyk makes both. Thomas pulls up and fouled while attempting the three by Schuler. So the North Carolina native, the famed Virginia Commonwealth. Schuler played for Monaco, made it to the Final Four last season. Puts Thomas on the line for 3 free throws, and Routens goes to the bench. And Schenel comes into the game. And Filipowski's certainly seen a lot of free throws missed in this round of 16 tie with Nanterre. 6.5 seconds remaining here in the first half. He makes 2 of 3. So Panza goes out. Konate comes back in, a little bit of speed. Shameless Hazer comes back into the game as well. Wilson is tough to stop in these situations. Over to Jones, and he put up the air ball. So at the end of one, Nanterre's plight has worsened. They trail 39-30 against Banvit, who looking good bets right now to meet Monaco in the quarterfinals. Well, look back at the first half stats, and you can see that Banvit, and particularly Routens, have started making a few shots from deep. They're 8 of 9 at the line, so not too bad. Certainly not as bad as last week. They're out rebounding Nanterre. And that's where we stand at the break. So 39-30, Kulig with 9 points, Kaloyato with 5 rebounds, Taylor has the 3 assists, Shafarczyk has a game-high 13 points, but he needs some support. And Invernizzi so far hasn't been able to make the type of impact that he made in that first game. Maybe that's somebody that Donadieu can bring back into the game. Jones with 6 points and Passav Duktel with 4. So we're at halftime, 39-30, Banvit on top of Nanterre 92. We'll be right back.
Yes, coach. You led them to score 27 points in the second quarter. How could you evaluate the first half?
Yeah, it's exactly the problem. Is 27 is too much for the second quarter. Because in the first quarter, they scored only 12 points. So we need to adjust something, and we hope we come back on the second half. Then in offense, we shoot too early. So we need to find a good balance between a good defense and be patient in offense.
Okay, coach. Good luck. Yes, coach. Think about the two games. You lead by 17 now. What do you need to do in order to secure the win and qualify the quarter finals?
But to qualify, we must have 0-0 in our head. Because if we will think 17, we will fall down. So 0-0, we have to fight for every possession. Key is defense. Šafarčík scored us too many points. And in offense, we didn't have patience enough. We played without discipline, and many times we turned the ball out.
Okay, coach, thank you. Good luck.
Thank you.
Well, we are at halftime. It's 39-30. Banvit on top of Nanterre 92, and I was able to listen in and hear the assistant coach for Nanterre, as well as the head coach of Banvit, Sasha Filipovsky, talk about how the game is going, what they need to do differently to have a chance. And for Nanterre, it's a little bit more patience on offense. Obviously, the defense needs to pick it up a lot. Far too many points scored in that second quarter. And what I found more interesting was what Filipovsky said, the coach of Banvit, that we need to forget about the fact that we're leading by 17 points on aggregate. We need to have the approach coming out to the second half like the game is knotted. It's 0-0, and as long as they come out with that type of attitude and leave nothing to chance to come out and play like their lives depend on it, they will get the job done. So Šafarčík with the game-high 13 points. He also has 3 assists, comes out. Donis Thomas also was playing well in that second quarter. He's got 8 points. Andy Routens has 8 points. And Tony Taylor has 4 points, 3 assists. He's got the ball, hands it off to Vidmar. Carlo Yard only has 2 points, but he has 5 rebounds, and as usual is doing a lot of the dirty work. Vidmar goes right up against Pasav Duktel, and now Šafarčík brings it back. Schuler into Pasav Duktel. And Routens goes up, gets the steal. 3-on-2 break, hands it off, and Vidmar is fouled by Šafarčík. Well, Shafarczyk knows it's much better to have Vidmar at the free throw line than it is going up for a dunk. So he wasn't going to let him have that. Well, he misses the first. In fact, they called an unsportsmanlike on Shafarczyk. So, one of two made by Vidmar. Now Taylor. Thomas. Schuler grabs the board. So remembering the Nanterre approach coming out here, they need to be patient. Patient on offense anyway. Shafarczyk. Schuler, a long way out, hits the three-pointer. That was Andy Routen's range. Andy Routen's complaining. Donadieu looks on with almost a smirk. Caloyado gets in, takes the bump, still makes the shot. Nanterre 92 won the FIBA Europe Cup last season. Of course, you know, it's a lot of new faces. Here's Shafarczyk. Fouled by Vidmar. And also, you have to remember that Nanterre, unlike Banvit, had to come through the qualifiers, had to come through the final qualifying round, and they beat Smoky Minsk in a very, very close tie. Shafarczyk misses the three. The ball hit back outside to him. Now the three-pointer is good from Jones. Well, see how he reacts to hitting the long jump shot. See how he reacts to watching that ball fall through the hoop. So now it's a 14-point deficit on aggregate. A couple of long three-pointers here made in this third quarter by Nanterre. And Vidmar just took his time. If he has the ball that close to the basket, it's awfully difficult to stop him. Konate. Schuler. And Jones again, same spot, this time different result. Taylor. Shafarczyk quickly to Schuler on the wing. Pulls up. Jones battles for the ball, puts it up and in. Back to a 14-point deficit on aggregate. Caloyado drives, gets rejected out of bounds by Passav Duktel. Pansa comes back in. 20-year-old center. And a foul down low on Panza. Off 1 foot, the pass inside to Vidmar, and once again, if he catches it that down low right there in the keyway, they're not going to stop him. And now the ball intercepted by Thomas. I think that's his second steal tonight. Two steals indeed to go with his 8 points and 5 rebounds. Now the penetration, the drive, and the basket from Thomas. And he now has a team-high 10 points. Schuler open and drills another one. And Routens saw what Schuler did. He says, I can do that, but he misses. And now Vidmar is fouled down low. That's the 3rd team foul on Nanterre in this quarter. Pasab Doctel was already waiting to come back into the game, so he checks in. This was Thomas's last basket. Hazer back into the game as well in the left corner. Thomas. And Hazer commits to foul. Schuler wanted the continuation. See if he was in the shooting motion already. Don't think so. Although I think they have counted, I've seen that counted before, but I don't think that was. So Hazer picks up the foul. And just the first team foul on Banvit here in the quarter. So they can give away some. And Vernizzi comes up high. Now Schuler, his favorite spot, hands it off to Jones. Jones hits another jumper. The way it's going, there's plenty of time for Nanterre. Vidmar backs down low, bounce pass. Caloyado fouled by Pasab Doctel. 3.5 minutes remaining in the 3rd. Oh yeah, no doubt about it. Filipowski. Thought he was ticked off by the missed free throw there. overall, they're doing a good job at the line tonight. That makes it 10 of 13, 76.92%. So any coach will take that. Schuler. Oh, tough pass to Passav Ductel. Jamal Schuler, you can see, elbow called on Caloyado. Schuler was complaining that the ball had been kicked at the other end. Crowd into it. Caloyado, that's his second foul. And Shafarczyk thought about it. Now Jones gets in the lane, puts up a very tough shot, but hits it. He's definitely a scorer, isn't he? 15 points now, game high for him. I think he's got 15. He did have 13. Now he's 6 of 9, so yeah. And it's a 12-point lead on aggregate. So still within striking distance, no doubt about it. And time to bump on Passav Ductel. So Kulik comes into the game. And Caloyado takes a seat. Taylor now misses a free throw. And this is where Filipowski will be frustrated. He had the 17-point lead on aggregate at halftime, and right now it's down to 12. So he knows his team isn't out of the woods yet. Remember, the winner of this tie will face Monaco in the quarterfinals. So if it's Nanterre, it'll be a battle of two French league teams. Schuler inside. Jones follows it up, puts it back up, and misses. Thomas with the rebound. Banvit beat Monaco in the semifinals at the Final Four last year, 83-74. Kulig. And Kulig called for the foul. And, oh, there's no doubt about it. Schuler's got the wound to prove it. Kulig goes over to check on him. Oh, that's a nasty cut, isn't it? Watch what happens. He steps in to impede the progress. That was weird. I'd like to see that again. Where did his head make contact with Kulig? .139 remaining in the third quarter, and Schuler's going to be helped up, and presumably he'll go to the bench to. He might have to get stitches. So it's a cut above the right eyebrow. Here's some of the highlights. So Schuler is hearing some applause. It may be that he's going to go to the changing room to be seen to. So hopefully he'll be okay. That's a blow certainly for Nanterre. They can't afford to lose him. Shafarczyk. Jones steps back and hits a three. And now it's a 50-48 game. A little more belief now in the steps of Nanterre, and also Jones has just again revealed how big of a talent he is. And I think that graphic is still behind. I think he's got 18 points now. Thomas, right at the buzzer. Well, that's a real deflator. If you're Nanterre, your man just hits a three and the other guy hits a three right at the end of the shot clock. Good refereeing from Bulto there to calm things down. Shafarczyk a little ticked off. And a little bit of frustration there for the young man, the 19-year-old Hazer. So Shafarczyk goes to the free throw line. Trailing by 13 points on aggregate. Nanterre now 12. And now 11. So a long way to go. Onchil into the game for Banvit. Final minute of the third quarter. Kulig. Hazer wide open in the right corner. And the penetration and the basket. Boy, that was tough. What a finish from Kulig. And full marks that time to Onchil. What a great catch. Great catch and great finish. Ball rattles out. And the free throws starting to be missed now by Banvit. 13-point lead on aggregate. So another chance for Shafarczyk and Nanterre. Clock down to 2-1. Jones off the back of the iron, and that's how we stand after 3 quarters. Banvit. It's not a done deal yet, folks, but they are leading by 5 in this game and 13 points on aggregate. So through 3 quarters, Banvit 16 of 25 now inside the arc, 4 of 16 beyond it. They had just 1 3 in that quarter. Their free throw shooting has dipped a little bit. They're now 11 of 16. And Nanterre, you saw they're shooting 6 of 19 from deep, 13 of 24 inside the arc, and 6 of 8 at the free throw line. Well, that second quarter was could end up being ruinous for Nanterre. They had a great start. They led 15-12 after 1, but Banvit outscored them 27-15 in that second quarter, and pretty much undid all the good work done by Nanterre in the first quarter. Nanterre outscored Banvit 20-16 in the third quarter. So 13 points. Advantage on aggregate for Banvit. Evernizzi tries his luck from deep. Hazer gets inside, misses. Now, Konate quickly to Invernizzi. No sign of Schuler yet. And Kulig corrals that miss. Kulig on the baseline. Going right at Jones. And I think a foul called right at the end of the shot clock on Jones. And you can see Jones thought he had the stop. Oh no, they're saying the shot clock violation. So it was indeed a good play by Jones. In fact, they're saying the foul was on Kulig. But he kind of lowered his shoulder. Konate. Bounce pass. Hassav Duktel. Kulig knocks it away. Thomas up to Hazer. And up ahead on the break. The Gazelle puts it up and in. Shafarczyk. Oh, it's a tough one. Now it's back to a 15-point lead over the two legs for Banvit. Hazer for three. And the ball hit out of bounds. So timeout on the floor. Four of 16 from deep for Banvit, 6 of 21 for Nanterre.
Je lui demandais d'aller chercher du pick and roll à 45 degrés, des transferts et à nouveau du pick and roll. C'est comme ça qu'on a scoré tout le match. Est-ce que c'est clair? Est-ce que je suis clair? D'accord? Do not skip entries. Wait for the pick and have calmness. And then open left or right as we can execute. 31.
That was Hazer. I don't know if, does that qualify as a dunk? I'm not sure it does. He was up there though. Hazer has Got 6 points tonight. Not quite having the similar impact that he did in the first game when he was just going crazy in the first half. But you'll remember that when he came into the second half, he looked almost like he wasn't in it. And Filipowski pulled him out. But now he's getting quality minutes here in the second half. Speaking of quiet, Jamar Wilson. Hassab Duktel. You know, when Wilson plays for Finland, I mean, Henrik Detman just lets him go to work. He's either penetrating and dishing or scoring. But we're not seeing it as much tonight. But, of course, doesn't get as many minutes. Kulig catches it down low and scores. Banvit now up by 17 points on aggregate, and the clock's starting to become the enemy of Nanterre. Swafé fouled out on the perimeter. And another foul on Hazer. So Routens will now come back into the game. Hazer has just fouled out of the game, in fact. Over the limit. So still showed some signs of blossoming into a really good player tonight. Hazer. Now Wilson. Jones. Three-pointer from Caluyaro. Boy, that is a dagger. That's what you call a dagger with 6:15 remaining, because it has taken the aggregate lead now to 20 points. Ball turns back over to Banvit, and it is increasingly looking almost like a lost cause here for Nanterre. This was Caliaro's three-pointer. So they called Wilson for the travel on that play. Sixteen assists for Banvit tonight, 12 for Nanterre. Still no signs of Schuler.
Yes, that means we are playing long sets. Long sets, they foul us. Long sets, they foul us. Okay. Yeah.
So Banvit very happy to take as much time off the clock as they can when they've got the ball. Foul called on Nanterre. Thomas from the left. Wilson with the rebound. Thomas called for the foul on Wilson. Konate is coming out, 5 minutes remaining, and again, it's going to have to be something exceptional here. Ladimino just hasn't played, really. I mean, he hasn't come back into the game. Just doesn't seem to be at his best tonight for whatever reason. And Vernizzi, Toifé back in. And Banvit, they're leading now 10 points in the second leg and 18 points overall. Cooling. Wilson spins, puts it up at the line, hits it. Again, Banvit more than happy to take some time off the clock. Tony Taylor in the corner, wide open. Routens hits a three. Well, that's even more than a dagger there. That is just, that one almost seals it, doesn't it? 21 points now, the lead with 3:45 remaining. Panza backs up Kulig. Well, Nanterre had a good season in the Basketball Champions League, but you could see the expressions on the faces of Konate and Shafarczyk. They're just not going to win this tie against a Banvit team that I think certainly not, you wouldn't say they're glamorous, but they've got a great fan base. They've got great players, great discipline, a great coach, play as a team, and on their day can beat anybody. And remember, Jordan Theodore played for them last season and was named the MVP of the league. And without Jordan Theodore, they've come back strong. You know, they've gotten some great all-round talents like Kalo Yaro. Kulig remained, as well as Vidmar from last season's team. Taylor has been effective at the point. Hazer is a promising young talent that's emerging. Onshul has his moments. We haven't seen Tolga Getchim. Don't know what the deal is with him. Onshul. Schwafai and puts it up and in. So the team's playing out the final 2 minutes, and the dunk by Elade Minu. It's going to be too little too late, though. Timeout being called here. Chalk up the assist to Wilson. So it's going to be Banvit and Monaco. Remember last year, played that great semifinal that was eventually won by Banvit. Well, this isn't over, certainly, for Sasha Filipovsky. He wants concentration for 40 minutes. There's the Banvit crowd. So they've been rewarded, and they've played their role tonight. They've brought the necessary noise and intensity to the game. I don't know if you could see Cagliaro's expression on his face when Filipovsky shouted at the players. There's Jones with 18, 9 rebounds, and Schuler has got a Band-Aid and some ice. They could be worried about a concussion. I don't know. But he hasn't come back into the game. And again, Banvit just going to take time off the clock. Nanterre had fouls to give. So Shafarczyk fouls Routens. Nanterre's coming into the game, number 35 for Banvit, and also turns it over. And the basket is good. I'll tell you, it's turning out to be a good night for Turkey after last night's result for Besiktas. They lost, but tonight Pino Karşıyaka are leading by 14 over PAOK, so they're ahead on aggregate in that tie. So it looks like two teams could end up going through tonight. Oh, there's still plenty of time in that game. 5.5 minutes in that second leg. PAOK won the first one by 6. Joaffe, the foul. Onschul takes it back out. Onschul, well, he had the layup, he just didn't make it. And Nanterre battles for the rebound, and it's going to be Banvit ball. Onschul again. Right about Wilson, loses him. Now he gets it to Nanterre. How about that? Gets the young man involved. And now Routens has it. Berg Nanterre, the 18-year-old center. And you know, he's come in for mop-up duty here, getting a chance to play. And, you know, and that's kind of the message, I think, that Filipovsky was delivering. Hey, listen, we can gain from this. Cagliaro, see, called for the foul there with the left forearm. Clearing out. Wilson follows up his miss and scores. So Onchel goes back to the line. Berke Attar has played for Turkey's youth teams, if you're wondering. Last summer played at both the under-18 and the under-20 European Championships. With the under-18s, he was a real beast, 16.4 points, 7.9 rebounds per game. So the final seconds ticking off the clock here. And it's going to be Banvit once again advancing to the quarterfinals. Trophée misses. Wilson gets the rebound, puts it up one last time. And that gets it back to 73-64. And Donadieu congratulates Filipovsky. And see Routens and Shafarczyk. Game played in a good spirit. Obviously, these guys want to, Nanterre, they want to get after it and win tonight. But Banvit just that little bit too good for them over the two legs. So Filipovsky goes off the court. Job well done. I don't know. I like the way he controls games. I really do. I don't think he necessarily has the best players in the Basketball Champions League. But, man, he knows how he wants to play. And he makes great adjustments in games generally. And I like how he is able to get a lot out of his young players. I think he's a great coach. And here's the nice connection with the Banvit club and the players. Look at Vidmar. He's a playful sort, isn't he? So 73-64, Banvit win it by 17 points on aggregate, and you can see their shooting numbers much better. 32 rebounds, 19 assists, 14 for Nanterre. Also the 9 steals for Banvit and just 4 for Nanterre. They just picked it up a notch. Nanterre gave a good account of themselves in that first quarter, that's for sure. Jones had the 18 points, the 9 rebounds. Keep an eye on him for the rest of the season in France. He'll be a good player for Nanterre, it appears. And Shafarczyk had 15, Wilson 8. Routens had the 11 points, Kulig the 15 in support of Thomas, who led the way with 15, and Thomas and Kulig each with 15 points. So that sets the stage. Monaco against Banvit, you can see up top there, and the winner of that tie will advance to the Final Four, and that's a tough one to pick. It really is going to be just a very entertaining last 8 showdown. Interesting with Attar, it's the first time he actually played this season in the Basketball Champions League, so he got his 2 points. Interesting to see how his career develops, that's for sure. And here are some of the highlights. Speaking of Caloyaro, he had 8 points, 6 rebounds, 2 assists. And he's solid, you know, he's efficient, 3 of 4 from the floor. Always helps you when he's out there. Kulig had a really good game, the 15 points and 6 rebounds. Routen's hit 3 threes tonight. Kind of, really put the pressure on Nanterre when he was scoring. Taylor had the 6 assists to go with his 5 points. And of course, Thomas really got it going in the second quarter and came up just a rebound shy of a double-double. He had 15 points and 9 boards. Vidmar, well, he had 9 points, 3 rebounds. Didn't have to be quite as impactful tonight as he was in the first game, where his tough physical play kind of set the tone. That was Hazer's basket. And Kulig was on his A game tonight, although he was unfortunately involved when Schuler got hurt. Cagliato with the 3. Speaking of Schuler, he ended up with 8 points, 4 rebounds, 3 assists, 2 of 5 from three-point range for the captain. And Wilson, in fact, I think didn't have 8 points. I think he had 10 points, 4 or 5 from the floor. But it was Jones with the 18 points and 9 rebounds leading the way. And Amino just, he got that dunk there, but that was his only 2 points of the game, and that came late when the result was beyond doubt. So Banvit march on. They have entered the quarterfinals where they will take on Monaco, winning the both legs against Nanterre 92. More action coming your way, folks, tonight, and also for the rest of the season. Thanks for watching.